We are officially 1 day out of UFC 322, headlined by Jack Della Maddalena taking on Islam Makhachev for the undisputed 170-pound strap. Does it get more fun than this, man? I mean, I haven't been this excited for a fight in a while. This one just has some big fight feeling to it. There's a lot at stake. JDM is looking to insert himself into the pound-for-pound rankings to get him a potential top 3 spot, to move him into the category of absolutely elite. Even though he is a champion, it feels like he's just being overlooked in this one. He's been overlooked. He was overlooked in the Bilal fight as well. He didn't have the greatest showing against Gilbert, but he still got that one done with a finish. I can't see the reason why this guy is being overlooked. But this one, if he gets this one done, we're going to have some awkward conversations about JDM. And on the other side of that coin, we have Islam Makhachev, who's looking to cement himself as one of the greatest to ever do it. Depending on how he gets this one done, you could be talking about a top 3, top 2, potentially even the number 1 spot of all time. But that's not all we're talking about in this video. Today we're going to be discussing the entire card top to bottom, and I'm going to be giving you my predictions. So let's get right into it. So I lied. We're actually not going to be talking about the early prelims because they suck, but we're going to start it off with the prelims. Malcolm Wellmaker is taking on Ethan Ewing. So I believe Cody Haddon just fell out of this one. He has a broken foot or something along those lines, will not be able to fight. So they're giving Wellmaker the layup. Not much to say about this one. I really don't know who this guy Ewing is. And it looks like Malcolm doesn't either. He posted a video saying, I know as much as you guys. He stepped up on short notice. I'm going to make it happen regardless. So hopefully this is a good fight. Hopefully we see another highlight KO from Wellmaker. He's really building a name for himself. And after this one, hopefully we get someone that is similar to Cody Haddon. Potentially they even rebook that one, because I was looking forward to seeing that fight. But obviously we're going to take Wellmaker here by KO. It's probably minus 1,000. Nothing crazy there. Next up, we have Erin Blanchfield taking on Tracy Cortez. Erin is the better wrestler. She's tougher. I think she's just going to be able to impose her will almost on Tracy. Tracy has kind of embraced the spotlight of a social media girl now, and a lot of videos with Nina drama, too many in my opinion, and I think fighting just really isn't on her mind anymore. I think Blanchfield is looking to dominate this one and get that win back. I'm going with Erin Blanchfield by decision. Now, this is a fun one. We have Roman Kopylov taking on Gregory Rodriguez. Both of these guys are extremely good strikers, extremely fun to watch. So let's talk about it. So we have Roman Kopylov, who's coming off that loss to Paulo Costa. In a fight, he just looked 2 steps behind. Costa looked like he was too sharp. He was landing everything. I mean, you got the body kicks, the leg kicks. He was mixing it up well. Kopylov really didn't seem to have an answer. He looked like the inferior athlete, and I think it's going to play out the same way. You have a guy like Gregory Rodriguez who is coming off of a flatline knockout victory against Jack Hermanson in a fight where he just looks like a world beater in the first round. I mean, this guy, if you aren't prepared to weather the storm early, he's going to put you down. I mean, he's going to at least drop you once if you aren't ready. I think that he's going to be too aggressive, and he's too damn big for this weight class for him to lose this one. Kopylov already doesn't look like a big middleweight at all. I mean, look at him. He just kind of looks flabby in that picture, not a lot of muscle. And then you have Superman on the right side, the Brazilian Superman, and I just think he's going to be too much for him. I think if Kopylov can weather the storm, make it patient, make it a tit for tat striking battle, he could be able to win the last 2 rounds, considering Rodriguez does gas pretty quickly. But I'm not banking on it. I do think Rodriguez has the edge here, and I'm going to be taking Rodriguez by KO in the first. Next up, we got Bo Nickel taking on Rodolfo Vieira. This is a good one. I think it's a pretty good bounce back spot for Bo Nickel. Vieira just kind of is that style that I think Bo Nickel can just take advantage of. It's a pretty good fight for him. Vieira has the jiu-jitsu background, but how many times does jiu-jitsu work against a wrestler? I just don't really see it playing in the favor of Vieira at all, even on the feet. I think Bo Nickel is going to be a little bit sharper. He's very patient, and he, as much as his striking isn't polished and it doesn't look great, he still knows when to go and when to pull back. We saw it in the Paul Craig fight. I just think that Bo Nickel is going to be able to kind of slow this fight down, go at his pace, and be able to mix in the wrestling, potentially getting even a sub here. I think it's a really good bounce back spot for Bo, like I said, and I will be taking Bo Nickel in this one by either submission or points. There's really not a lot to say here about Vieira. He's a good fighter, but I think he's just a little bit outmatched in this one as far as styles go, so I will be taking Bo Nickel in this one. And on to the main card, we got Beneil Dariush taking on Benoit Saint-Denis. Love this fight. Dariush is coming off that win against Moicano. He looked pretty good there, but he did get dropped, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have Saint-Denis, who is coming off of a extremely good win against Mauricio Ruffi in a fight that a lot of people were just straight up counting him out. People seem to forget what he can do and his skill set all around. I mean, this guy can finish fights in any way. You see it in his odds too. I mean, his KOs and submission lines are always damn near identical. He's a guy that can create violence. He's very good all around, but so is Dariush. I think we're going to see a very, very close matchup in this one. I'm going to lean Saint-Denis on this one. I just think he's going to be able to create damage. He's going to be able to push the fight forward, and Dariush typically doesn't do well when the fight comes to him. So I'm going to go with Saint-Denis on this one. I'm going to take him by points. Next one, we got Leon Edwards taking on Carlos Prates. Banger. This one is so good. I think people are really overlooking Leon in this one. Leon's coming off of that loss to Sean Brady and, of course, the loss to Bilal Muhammad. And Prates has been on a tear. I mean, besides that loss to Ian Gary, he's just been flatlining people left and right. I mean, this dude is legit. But I do see some similarities in the game of Leon Edwards and Ian Gary, and I think that Leon can make this a closer fight than people think. Carlos Prates is an extremely good striker. He's incredible. Nobody needs to tell you that. But what I will say is somebody who's as technical, who's been around the ringer like Leon Edwards, this is a style that favors him. He has had nothing but nonstop grapplers in his last, I don't even know how many fights. I mean, you go back to Kamaru, Bilal, Colby. These are all guys that just want to take him down. And we've yet to see Leon fight a style like this. I think it's an extremely interesting fight. But I do see Carlos Prates just being that good. I think he poses too much of a threat. I think he hits way too hard. He mixes up his strikes incredibly well. I mean, he's got knees, he's got elbows, he has every single punch you can possibly throw. This guy's thrown it and probably knocked people out with it. Leon's going to be very patient. Leon's going to be, doing Leon things, the leg kick, staying at range, throwing that mean right hand down the pipe. But I do see Prates edging this one out, but I don't think it's going to be a KO. I do have Carlos Prates winning this one by a decision. I think he's going to be able to hurt Leon, but I don't think it's going to be enough to finish the fight. I see it going similar to that 5th round against Ian Gary where he's able to hurt him, but he's not able to finish the fight. Leon has pretty decent grappling, defensive and offensive grappling, and I see him being able to stay alive in this one. I think he's not going to go out sad like the Sean Brady fight. I think this one's going to go to a decision. I'm taking Carlos Prates by points. I mean, how good is this card? How good is this card, dude? It's just banger after banger. Sean Brady taking on Michael Morales, the undefeated Michael Morales. Someone's 18 has to go. These guys are on a tear, both of them. Sean Brady's coming off, obviously, that submission victory against Leon Edwards, in which he looked absolutely incredible. He cracked Leon a few times on the feet. He was honestly winning on the feet for the entire fight. And when he did wrestle, it was domination. It was backpacks. It was mount, transitioning, landing big shots. He looked absolutely incredible in that fight, but he faces a whole different test in this one. This isn't old man Leon. It isn't. This isn't post-championship Leon. This is 18-0 Michael Morales, who is coming off of belt to ass against Gilbert Burns and Neil Magny. Talk about no respect. This guy, Michael Morales, walked into there with a guy who went toe-to-toe with some of the best ever. Hamza, Usman, guys at the top of the pack. And he made him look like he's never been in a fight before. And absolutely, I can understand you saying that Gilbert was old, washed, whatever. It's still Gilbert Burns, and I think that Michael poses a very risky threat to Sean Brady. In my opinion, Sean Brady should have gotten a title shot. Sean Brady could very well be in place of Islam on Saturday. But this isn't the world that we're in. Islam moves up. Sean Brady falls back in line. And in my opinion, he takes the hardest fight in the division besides maybe a Shavkat. This guy, Michael Morales, is extremely well-rounded. I believe he has that judo background. And apart from, we could talk attributes and styles, this dude is one of the biggest welterweights I've ever seen in my entire life. I think if you scroll down right here, he has a 79-inch reach advantage. 79-inch reach to Sean Brady's 72. He's a full 6 foot, and he doesn't even look 6 foot. I mean, he looks bigger than 6 foot, and he made Burns look little. We do know that Sean Brady and Gilbert Burns have the exact same build pretty much. Sean Brady is definitely a bit bigger as far as muscle mass goes, but pretty much the same build. And even at that press conference, man, Morales looks huge. He's got a confidence to him that is appealing in picking him to win this fight. I know Sean Brady is incredibly tough, and he's on an unbelievable tear ever since getting finished by Bilal, but I just can't overlook it. You're getting standing TKO'd by Bilal? We're talking about Bilal. How are you Bilal's only finish in the, I don't like it. I think that with the style and the build Morales poses to him, I mean, we saw when Gilbert took him down, he was back to his feet and back striking within a second. It was an instant get up, instant fight the hands, turn around, and now we're landing big shots. Sean Brady needs to fight a perfect fight to beat this guy, Michael Morales. I think he is extremely dangerous. He is a problem in this division. I'm taking Michael Morales by KO, and I think we see a new star being born in this division. Next up, we got Valentina Shevchenko taking on Zhang Weili. These girls are fighting to be the best women's fighter of all time next to Amanda Nunes. Valentina is coming off that win against Manon Fiorot in a fight that was decently close. I mean, she edged out the decision She did have a knockdown in one of those rounds that really helped her. But before that, those Alexa Grasso fights, man, I just can't really wrap my head around those. I mean, Alexa Grasso lost that fight and went straight back down to the prelims. I mean, these aren't... I think Valentina is a great fighter. She's going to have the size advantage here. But I do favor Zhang Weili. I think what she did against Tatiana Suarez, who, by the way, is probably one of the highest level wrestlers that in the 115 or 125 pound divisions, and she manhandled her. I mean, she was wildly aggressive in a bad way. She wasn't aggressive in a bad way. It was violent. It was like every time Tatiana shot, Weili was stuffing it in the clinch, ripping shots upstairs. Tatiana was getting battered in that fight. And I think we saw levels in that fight, and I think Zhang Weili is on a different level than every woman at 115 to 125. And I do think she's going to edge out the win here. I think the striking battle is going to be close. If Valentina can take her down and control her and maybe win a round or two, that's probably in her favor. But I do think Zhang Weili is going to win the striking battle. I think she's going to make it ugly, and she's just going to be too tough for Valentina. So give me Zhang Weili by points on this one. And finally, we have JDM taking on Islam Makhachev. I have a full detailed breakdown of this fight in my previous video and why I think Jack Della Maddalena is going to beat Islam Makhachev and retain his belt and end the Dagestani era for good. Here's why I think that. I believe that if you look at his record and how he finishes fights and the outcomes of if you look at his record and the outcomes of fights, it is very rare that he makes fights look easy when the opponent he is facing is on a full camp. And you may be saying that's crazy, like he's incredible, whatever. There's this whole narrative around Islam Makhachev that he is just some absolute world beater that can't be stopped, whatever. I'm here to tell you that that's wrong. Of Islam Makhachev's title reign, he faced 4 people, half of which were on a full camp. So which means the other half was on short notice. Alexander Volkanovski and Renato Moicano both fought Islam Makhachev on a week's or a day's notice. Those 2 fights were the only fights he finished in the first round. On the other side of that, he fought Alexander Volkanovski and Dustin Poirier on full camps. Alexander Volkanovski took him 5 rounds and dropped him in the 5th with a 3-2 fight in which a lot of people thought he lost. I didn't think he lost. I did think Islam won that fight 3-2, but it in no way, shape, or form was an impressive showing at all. The people's champ was Volkanovski. He's the one that landed the big shots. He's the one that won the exchanges, who got the drop, not just the flash knockdown to a knee that they gave Islam, the full drop. And then you have Dustin Poirier. He fought Dustin Poirier in June of 2024. In July of 2023, Dustin Poirier got flatline KO'd against Justin Gaethje. Head kick, flatline KO, stiff by Justin Gaethje. And in Islam's fight, he was taken to the 5th round, and he finally got the sub. A 36-year-old, out of prime, retirement Dustin Poirier took him 5 fucking rounds. I want you to take a second and think about what Jack Della Maddalena would have done to Dustin Poirier if he was in Newark, New Jersey that night when Islam Makhachev fought him. That fight does not leave the first round. We've seen this time and time again with this guy, Islam Makhachev, that he just simply is underwhelming. when you look at the outcomes, you go, wow, this guy's incredible. But then when you take a step back and look at his career, it's the same story. I mean, it's just overblown names in fights that he just simply makes look so hard. He's never made a fight look easy that wasn't a short notice fight or just a bump. Yeah, you could be saying I'm biased. I just wanna favor Jack, but I'm not. I'm giving you facts. Dustin Poirier was 36 years old, got flatline KO'd in the second round by Justin Gaethje a year prior, and then after a year, he takes Islam 5 fucking rounds. When you look at styles, Dustin Poirier and Jack Della Maddalena have a very similar style, I'd say. It's a very boxing-heavy style. They try and stay away from the ground. But when you think about who is better, it's Jack Della by a mile, and it's not even close. They're not even on the same stratosphere. And you're going to say Dustin Poirier is one of the greatest. He couldn't even unify. I understand he had to fight Charles. He had to fight Khabib. He's never been a champion. He was old at the time. This isn't even prime Dustin I'm talking about. This is old 36-year-old Dustin who retired a year later. And he took Islam 5 rounds. When I look at the other side and I say Jack Della Maddalena is just a bigger and better everywhere Dustin Poirier. His hands, way better. Mixes it up, way better. His scrambles, not even close. They're not even on the same stratosphere. He's been working with Craig Jones. He's been working with Alexander Volkanovski. We've seen him. He has an entire camp preparing for Bilal Muhammad, an entire 25-minute fight footage of him getting up, not being able to be held down. He did it against Gilbert. He got held down for 1 round. He was injured in that fight, and then in the 3rd round, he pulled off something gutsy and finished it. His scrambles do leave him open for being submitted, but I think that you'd be dumb to think that he's not prepared. You may be saying, but Jack's resume is not that good either. Could be saying Islam's resume is great. Jack's isn't that good. Fine. But I would rather my guy be the younger guy, be the bigger guy, the one who has an entire camp working on defending this exact style with the same people, and he has Volkanovski, who's fought this guy twice in his corner. I see JDM being able to survive the first few rounds. I do think there is a chance that Islam could just get him out of there in the first 2 rounds, but from what I've seen, every time someone's on a full camp, they do just fine in the first few rounds. They survive perfectly fine. The worst that happens is Islam slaps on a body triangle and holds him there for 4 minutes or 3 minutes. That's the absolute worst that's going to happen. Then you're going to get a little pitter-pat shot on the side of the ear, and that's it. I see Jack Della being able to survive when those later rounds come. When Khabib's screaming at Islam to just shoot, and Islam wants to strike with him because he can't get anything efficient going on the ground. I see Jack absolutely piecing him up. And then once Islam feels that he's not able to strike with this guy, there is going to be panic wrestling, but then it's too late. Jack already has a bite on him. He already knows he already knows that it's coming. He's got his timing down. Islam's going to be shooting, panic wrestling, and Jack's going to be able to use his scrambles, get back up to the feet, and start pouring on the pressure. I mean, you saw in the 5th round against Bilal, he turned it up a different notch. He smells blood. His combinations are fluid. They're fast. He knows exactly what he's doing. He dances just out of range. He moves his head really well. Pops you with quick shots to the head, to the body. He's going to be able to do it. I see him either finishing this fight or winning the last 3 rounds. I think it's going to be tough. I see Islam winning the first 2, but I think Jack is going to start to take over late. He needs to know that he needs a finish. But I do think the longer Jack can keep this fight standing, the better chance he has, obviously. But we've already seen it, man. We've seen it. He's able to stay on his feet. And when he does get taken down, because obviously he's going to get taken down. Of course he is. You'd be dumb to think he's not. But then you see the scrambling ability. You see the ability to throw in the butterfly and lift and get out, get into space, use his body. I mean, him and Craig Jones have been working with this for the last 2 camps now. I think they've got a good idea on what's going to happen and how to get out of certain situations. Specifically, we see how Islam likes to take people down against the fence. He rarely shoots open mat takedowns. It's usually a single, and he runs the opponent to the fence, and then from there he looks to take a back or trip. But we've also seen JDM loves playing defense against the fence. That's what he did best against Bilal, up against the fence, and every time they disengage, he always lands quick shots right after. I think Jack's going to do just enough to either finish this fight or get a decision. I do think it's going to be a very competitive fight, obviously, but I do see Jack starting to take over late. So give me Jack Della Maddalena by either a knockout, TKO up against the fence, or decision. 3-2. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.